Hey folks, my name is Pravus and welcome to Laysara, Summit Kingdom. This is a new game where you build a city builder atop mountains in very much a Himalayan style. I've actually had my eye on this game for a while, but I was surprised when it released it unexpectedly on April 10th into early access. No one knew that was coming, it just sort of happened, which is interesting. We're gonna try this game out. Now, one thing I'll tell you up front, this game is not the same city builder you may be used to seeing on this channel. It may look like a survival city builder, but in a lot of ways it's not. It's actually more of what I would call a puzzle city builder, which is to say the placement of a certain optimal number of buildings produces the optimal amounts of resources in order to overcome an obstacle. You'll see what I mean in just a bit. Let's go ahead and start up a new game. Now, the story for this game is that the kingdom of Laysara was smote by an unexpected mysterious mist that covered the land, smothered crops, and made both humans and animals sick. We are trying to reach the top of mountains to, 1, escape from the mists, and 2, build a shrine at the summit to appeal to the spirits to push back the mists and save our kingdom. So, where should we start our new city? How about at Demon's Rest? That sounds awful, but sure. Now, the first thing you may notice about this game, it's absolutely beautiful to look at. This is a very, very pretty game. I'm absolutely thrilled with how it turned out. If I hit the middle mouse button, we actually can kind of zoom in around the mountain and just kind of spiral around. In some cases, there are actually going to be some buildable plateaus that just kind of stretch all the way around, which is kind of a fun little play style. Anyway, the very first thing that I need to do is start building up some residences for my lowest caste of citizenry. That is going to be the lowlanders, who are going to work a lot of very basic jobs. To do that, we need a couple of things. First off, I need a food market in a good central location because we will need to distribute food to all of my people. And this is where I'm going to simply place down some quick roads that go up like this and make sure everything gets connected, because you do need to have every single building connected to a road in some way. And you can see it does happen instantaneously. With this marketplace, we can then go ahead and start placing down some huts for our lowlanders. So maybe a couple over here, and then maybe a couple more up over here. This should be fine. And then, if we click on these homes, we can see that there are a number of needs for our people that are currently unsatisfied. I'm going to need some tsampa, which is like basically barley food. We need some eggs and we need some cheese. If we can also provide some spiritual enlightenment, this house will be able to upgrade, and that gives me more people to work with. You can see up here right now we have 14 unemployed lowlanders who are ready to work, so we should go ahead and consider placing down some food. I'm going to start by placing down some simple eggs over here, and then we click on this and drag it to the market, and there we go. That's going to determine where the production chain goes. You can see here that the goods will be delivered like so. We should also go ahead and get ourselves that barley field I have been talking about, so let's do a couple along here like that. Plus, we need to get ourselves a mill, so we'll do that there. Drag these to the mill, drag the mill to the market, and there we go. All right, that's 2 different needs that are being met. Next, I want to go ahead and meet their enlightenment needs. So let's place down a small praying place. And you can see the affected areas along here. So how you organize and place all of your different residences and neighborhoods, that's kind of one of the most important parts of the game. So let's go ahead and upgrade all of these houses. You can see my population is now skyrocketing. Excellent. All right, so that's one neighborhood basically taken care of. But the game will warn you on occasion if you do not have enough of a particular resource income to meet the needs of all of these people. Now, the objective right now for us is simply to get 10 of these houses up to the next level, which we should be able to do without too much trouble. Maybe I can just place down one more house right here. There we go, get that upgraded, and we are done. Okay, so that takes care of this plateau. Then we're going to move on to our next objective, which apparently is going to be on this plateau up over here, where we can see some copper deposits. And yes, that is another resource we are going to need to extract and refine in some way. Oh, look, a bunch of snow. Yeah, we'll probably see this later on. Avalanches are absolutely a threat on your mountains. If you do not take certain precautions, they can literally wipe you off the face of the mountain. So this place is a little bit hazardous. So, if the next thing we need to do is get up to this area to extract the copper and start making some better materials, let's go ahead and build up a shaft. I'll click from, let's say, here up to here. And there we go. You can see we just created a very precarious little ladder bridge thing, which I personally would never touch, but you know, that's just me. Anyway, with access to this area up over here, wouldn't be a bad idea to start setting up our second caste of citizenry, that is the artisans. So just like before, we are going to need to get a simple food market in a nice area, like let's say right over here. We can place down some houses, just like before. and take a look at their individual needs. We can see that people do indeed still need some tsampa as well as some cheese. Now, cheese comes from yaks, because of course this wouldn't be a Himalayan-themed game if there weren't plenty of yaks to go around, right? And just like your citizens, you have a yak force. You need a certain number of yaks in order to maintain this. It's hilarious, really it is. So we can go ahead and place down some yak pastures, especially in these nice areas that are more hospitable to the yaks, and that increases my population that I can work with. So I'll place down a yak shack, which takes that population. Then we're just going to place down a cheese maker, let's say over here. Drag, drag, boom. Now we're providing that need. Okay, we've also got our tsampa set up, so most of these needs are set. Perfect. Now we need to start providing some utensils. This means that I need a commodity supplier, which is a whole nother tree over here. You had your food, you had your enlightenment, and now we have prosperity, also known as basic industry. So let's go ahead and place down a commodity supplier, let's say up over here. Then we can go for something more specific like copper utensil production. I will place down a copper mine that is attached to this area like so. And then we need to place down a coppersmith next to it, which can go here. And then we can place down a coppersmith, simply drag and drop, drag and drop. There we go, that's a lot of happy people. Boom, boom, bada, bada, boom, boom, bomb. Okay, now, we are in the negative for our revenue. That means that we are going to need to start begging for some cash. If I go to my treasury options down here, we can go for a donation spot, which does take up some of my artisans and does have an upkeep associated, plus it costs some money. But hopefully, it's going to lead to people actually giving me free money for doing very little. Hey, if that brings my revenue back into the positive, it is super duper worth it. Anyway, that should take care of everything we need here with the artisans. And the spirits have sent our happy little monk man a vision. He saw himself looking at the earth and rock through the nature of universe itself. We must build an academy at the highest region of this particular mountain, which means we're about to unlock our third caste of citizenry, and that is the monks. Now, don't forget to periodically come back to your other plateaus and expand them, get some extra lowlanders and stuff, because as you build out all these different structures, taking care of your artisans, eventually your monks, and so on, you're going to find that you're using up all of your population on different jobs, right? And that's where you kind of have to keep building things out. But this is where I'm saying it's kind of a puzzle game, right? Because nowhere in here am I having to worry about any particular resources. I mean, I do. I have to worry about, like, tsampa getting delivered here to the food market, but you don't see anything up over here to the top. It's just one very simple resource. That's revenue. That's what lets you keep building things up, and then make sure you have enough population to go around, and everything's kind of an instant gratification. So as long as you just know what to place, right, you just plop it down somewhere and connect it to a road, it just sort of all magically works. So it's not nearly as challenging as you would find from a survival city builder, and instead it just becomes, how do I optimize the resources in a limited amount of space in order to meet my goal? That's it. That's all you need to do. Whoa, hang on, there was an avalanche somewhere. Where? Hang on. Ah, there it is! There goes an avalanche. Okay, now this is the real threat as you play the game. There's a snow cap right there. Yeah, snow will accumulate on these mountains, and eventually it's all going to fall down. You have ways of getting around that, though. If we go to avalanche protection down here at the bottom, we'd be able to place down some trees, foresters, which would actually block a lot of the snowfall and kind of stop it dead in its tracks, providing some protection for areas underneath it. You also eventually have things like Mr. Plow for when planning has failed, and we'll be able to clear things out from snow. We can place down some barriers and walls. We can even deliberately induce avalanches when necessary in order to decrease its power. There's a lot of things you can do. On this mountain, I'm not really worried about it. Instead, I'd rather just go ahead and place down some more shafts and access a whole new plateau. Because our next goal, apparently, is to have 40 monks living in this high zone with access to scholarship. We gotta keep an eye out for this snow cap right here. This could be a problem. We need to pay attention to the snow. Respect the snow. As usual, we will place down a nice little food market over here, and I'm gonna try to build deliberately out of the way of the snow a little bit. I think that's the smarter way to go. And let's start placing down some monk residences so we can see exactly what we are going to need. So how about up over here, for example? This should be fine. There we go. Click on this. We can see that they do want cheese and tsampa. I don't really care about the eggs I provided. Oh, whoops. They do want to be nice and high up in the air. They want an academy, and of course they want a place to pray. Unsurprising. Well, let's go ahead and meet their tsampa needs. Get myself a quick barley field plus a mill. Unfortunately, the higher up we are, the less we are going to get out of all of these barley fields. So we need to place a lot of them down in order to meet all of our needs. It's okay, though. We'll be fine. We'll take care of all of that. So there we go. That gets me 32 monks. I just need a little bit more. There we go. And the next thing to do is build up the academy, which I guess I can place over here, but it's going to be in a dangerous zone. Yeah, it's time to go ahead and start thinking about how we're going to be placing some defensive buildings. Also, I might want to relocate a few things here because we're kind of cramped, and I'm not actually reaching most of these homes. That's unfortunate. No problem, though. With a lot of these buildings, you actually can just simply move the building, like so. Now, when you have to do a lot of mass movement like this, I kind of wish there was a simple click and drag button for some of these. That would make my life a little bit easier, but alas, there is not. But using this, I can make sure I place down the academy in a good spot, like so, and then rearrange my homes to make sure they take advantage. There we go. All right, now everything's rearranged. That works perfect. The academy is done. So the next thing that we need to do, apparently, is to provide some textiles. I think we can safely say that's going to be under prosperity, a whole new production tree. We need yaks, and we need to shave them down so that we can get ourselves some textiles at the weaver. Now, interestingly enough, the higher up we are in the mountain, the more wool we start producing, because I guess my yaks get especially cold or something. So by building this up over here, this is actually a much better way to go. But it is still always worth farming out all the yaks down here in the nice lush areas. Now, you might be wondering, well, if you're producing all sorts of wonderful clothing up here in the high areas, how do you then bring this down? Because thus far, we have not been transporting any resources back and forth between the different plateaus. That is doable. We go to the distribution menu over here and place down a cart post. Maybe one right over here. Okay, sure. And then get that hooked up down over here, and then maybe another one down over here. And then I'll go ahead and start producing even more stuff at the Yak Shack, plus some more weavers. Send this to the cart over here instead of the commodity areas, and then this can get dragged down over here. And then from here to that community distribution center, and boom, we're now providing that clothing to all of our artisans, making them happy. Hooray! I've also got plenty of well-upgraded houses, which means we move on to the next stage immediately. And our little monk man is saying an academy sucks. We need monasteries. Yeah, forget science. Science is ridiculous. It's fine, though. Unlock something new for us. A monastery. Beautiful, gigantic building. Now, this would satisfy a scientific need just like this academy. I'm going to go ahead and move this building elsewhere for now, just somewhere out of the way, and see if we can just place down a monastery to do the exact same thing, like so. Perfect. Except now we are back in the negative. Oh, you all know how this works. Monks, can you please donate? Oh, wait, I don't think monks donate, do they? Uh-oh. No, they do. I just need to rearrange a few things, because I can't fit my money-begging facilities. There we go. Ask for money. Well, didn't get a lot of money now, did we? Oh, but it looks like we actually need to have the academy as well. Oh, I didn't realize that. We have to have an academy in order to actually be a high enough research level to even have this monastery. Oh, I've messed this all up. All right, hang on. Destroy that. Not a big deal. It's fine. Just go ahead and place this right back where it was before. Thank you. And we'll start regenerating up to science level 1 so we can keep these buildings all running. There we go. Okay, so we actually needed to do this in addition to everything else. Haha, yes. Tell you what, let's try actually building a little bit further over here across this little gap. We're going to build a bridge that goes across just like so, and this unlocks a whole new area. And if I were to place this over here, it actually would be connected to a few houses. Not a lot of houses, mind you, but a few. However, running this thing is going to take another 59 monks? That's not a small number of monks. Okay. You can still reactivate buildings even if you don't have enough people, and I'll show you what's going to happen if we do that. Basically, you're going to have to start importing some ad hoc workers. They're very expensive, hence why my revenue is now plummeting into the negative. So it's much, much better to actually provide for enough population here locally instead of relying on importing them. So with that known, I'm going to try to get myself a handful more monks in this area if we can. Although I suppose one other thing we could do that might be just as effective is actually just go ahead and start producing some local cheese. Get these houses upgraded. Yeah, that's not a bad plan. Or maybe some honey production. Beekeepers. They're especially good down in this area. Still, we could place them up over here. There we go. Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. All the upgrades. Hooray! There we go. Now I have more than enough workers. If I turn on the academy, I'm not going to go horribly into the negative because we have enough workers this time. Hooray! All right, we need some sort of resources, though. painted cedar. Well, that's not something I've messed with yet. Let's go back to prosperity and see if we can figure that out. We would need to place down some cedar groves. Okay, this is something special over here in the resource tab, from which we can see a number of different buildings. This is where we start getting into a little bit more complication with our production chains. So painted cedar requires a number of things. Rock crystals, herbalists goes into dye producers, plus a cedar grove becomes a cedar painter. Yeah, it's a little complicated now, ain't it? Well, that means we're definitely going to be building off in this direction. To be safe, let's go ahead and start preparing some protection against the avalanches. For example, I will place some trees along here. Whoa, perfect timing, look at that. Whoa, okay. I say perfect timing, barely not perfect timing. Okay, but it's an example of how this works, right? The avalanche fell, the tree stopped it over here, did not stop it over here. Now we need to send Mr. Plow to clean this up. I can't even delete the building. Oh gosh, dang it. It's fine, Mr. Plow. Can you please dig this out? There we go, that's dug up, perfect. Let's just go ahead and move the building over here now. There we go, got that. All right, get rid of Mr. Plow, didn't need that. Anyway, now this entire area is protected, which as far as I know is all we would need to stop the next avalanche, so I think we are now safe to build. All right, so where were we? We need to get ourselves a rock crystal mine, which I can place down over here. And that gets combined with an herbalist, which will start providing the herbs I need to make dyes. Now, I wish there was an ability to rotate your buildings around. That would be convenient. As far as I know, that is not a case, though. Everything is very much built with the vertical in mind, because it is the Himalayas, after all. Okay, so now we have both of these resources being sent here, so dyes are being produced. Then I need to get myself a cedar grove, which we should be able to place up over here anyway. So maybe one over there, plus a cedar painter. Place that here, drag the dyes, drag the cedar, and now we have our painted wood being produced. Not enough of it, though, and I need to send it somewhere. How am I going to get it all the way over here, actually? The answer is we need more cart posts, which feels a little bit crazy, but it's true. We do need that. So we go ahead and attach this here, so now we have painted wood. We drag that over here. There we go. We now have painted wood being delivered. And I needed only 50% efficiency, so let's re-enable the building. Never mind, I don't have enough monks anymore. Gosh dang it! Okay, we have enough monks now. Let's go ahead and enable the building. Not receiving input resources. Now you are. Boom. 50% efficiency. Upgrades! Yes! Look at all the monks! Ah! Too many monks! Now I don't have enough food. Whoops. It's fine. We'll just delete one of them. Doesn't matter too much. Oh, you're not providing enough. I don't care. I don't care if I'm not providing enough. Look at my science levels going up. Yes, we're at research level 3. Okay, now with that taken care of, we can move on to other things. Hey, look, we have little rivers. I'll bet you we could get a new form of food. Fish production. Yes. Place this close to river. Get fish. Sure, we can do that and drag that over here. Perfect. Of course, people are going to demand a lot more fish. But we can do that too. Honestly, the biggest challenge I'm going to run into right now is just the fact that, like, getting enough space, like, enough reach to all of your buildings, like your food market, is going to be a bit of a challenge. It's kind of difficult to actually reach everything in this game. So case in point, I want to place down some fish here, but look at this. The road just barely doesn't match. So I have to rearrange even more things to make a more direct route to get to my food markets, or else I can't have any fish. But I can move that house over one, and then we can maybe place this down in an area. Yep, there we go, and now it reaches. Like I said, kind of like a placement puzzle game. That seems to be kind of the crux of this game. Anyway, that provides enough citizens with fish, so we're finished with that one. Hooray! Now, what if I don't want this much fish? What if I want to make more money? Well, we should now be able to activate a trading post. This does require a yak force of a few more yaks, of which I don't have very many. Hang on, tell you what, let's go ahead and extend out this direction and get some space for more yakage. There, that should do. Now we have 12 yaks to go around. And I can place down a trading post. I don't know where exactly. Sure, let's say over here for now. That doesn't quite reach where I want it to, though. So frustrating. Let's just try rearranging some yaks or something down over here. There we go. Now we can place this up here, and then we can drag this instead and go here. Okay, now we are able to start selling some fish, and this provides some revenue. And honestly, I'm getting kind of sick of trying to work in this tiny, cramped little area. It's very inefficient. I know it, but I didn't sit here really theory crafting this. Tell you what, we've got more space. Let's just open up a whole new area down here. There we go. Now we've got 73 more of the lowlanders ready to go. Just keep doing things like this periodically. Seriously. Look for ways to get yourself some more population you can work with. And build up and down the mountain. Totally okay for us to come over here and actually start building down over the... Oh, well, except for the avalanche. That's kind of a major detractor. But yeah, just come over here, start building down. Hey, look, a lot more ground where we can easily build up some artisans. Though I don't think technically there's anything stopping me necessarily from placing some lowlanders up over here, is there? Okay, no, it looks like they're going to need some sort of much higher satisfaction levels if they're going to be up over here. I don't know, the game seems to heavily imply, at the very least, that artisans should be on this level, right? And then your monks higher up over here. There's probably some sort of symbolism in this. Now, what happens in a case where you actually want to have a building split resources between two different buildings? Because right now, I'm producing 4 of these crystals over here, and I only need 2 at each of these dye producers. There are ways to fix that. We go to distribution over here, go to a carrier post, right? We can place that here and say, hey, forget sending this out here. Go to this instead, and then now that this carrier post is assigned, we can drag it to multiple locations, and that should solve the problem. Perfect. So now the crystals are properly being split. I just need to get myself some more herbs. So we'll get another cedar painter, go up over there, boom. Now our cart post should be able to deliver up to 6. We've actually got a surplus, but that means that we are at 100% capacity with our monastery. Nice. Now, what was this about some smoked meat? Apparently my citizens need smoked meat. I don't know why you think you're entitled to that, but okay. Foresters go to charcoal piles, goat farms, plus something I have not unlocked, which is salt, needs to be imported and then sent to a smokehouse. Uh-huh. Well, I'm kind of already placing down a bunch of these foresters in order to make sure that I can protect from avalanches. So what if I tried to find a way to take the wood I'm producing here naturally and send that to a charcoal pile? Whoop. However, unfortunately, the power of avalanches just increased a bit, because I guess we're taking too long. Ah, that's good. Well, let's go ahead and start dragging and dropping over here. So we should be able to start producing at least a bit of charcoal. Not a lot, but some. I'm still very concerned that the next avalanche that falls is going to wipe me out over here, because, well, I can't really block this any further with the tree cover than I've already got, so that's going to be a fun little problem. Anyway, if I wanted to get the smoked meat, I now need to get myself some goat farms, so let's plan on some of those. And then how do we actually import some resources? Is this also at a trading post? Possibly. If we click on a trading post, I can disable, move, reset storage. No, that's not what I have in mind. How do I get salt? Ah, if I build another trading post, we can buy resources. There's the salt. Right, we click on that, and then we say how much salt we want to buy. Let's say, I don't know, 4 or something like that. And then we'll have to actually export the darn stuff, which of course means another cart post is necessary, and I'm out of artisans. Ah! There we go. Now I have enough. All right, drag that over here. This is going to be my salt. We need to send it up over here. Click and drag all the way up this way. That's salt. Send here. Send meat. Send meat. Send charcoal. Okay, so we only need 1 salt, it looks like. I am grossly over-importing. Pull back. And then from here, I would send this to my food market, but it's too far away. It's fine, it's fine. Which market has the highest population? That's easily going to be this market right over here. All right, this may be inefficient and stupid, but we'll just transport the meat back down. No, wait, that actually is extremely stupid. Hold on, don't do this. Let's actually try moving the smokehouse elsewhere. Yeah, sure, right over here, I guess. I don't really care. Something that connects up to a market with a very large clientele. Instead, let's place another cart post over here, and we will drag the charcoal to one and the goat meat to another. Drag it down instead. Bring them here, and bada boom. Yes, now I just need to transport some salt. And we are now making enough meat. Hooray! Oh, gosh. I'm getting there. Bit by bit, I'm getting there. Getting where exactly? I have no idea. And now the monk is telling me to start brewing butter tea. Oh, good lord. Why? Why do you need butter tea? Why? That doesn't even sound good. Ew. Oh gosh, for this, right, we need yaks going to butter beaters? Sure, yeah, take the milk and turn it into butter, makes sense. Herbalist, import more salt, and then we have a butter tea brewer. Good God. Okay. Right, okay, if we're gonna do this, we need yak shacks making as much milk as possible down here. We know this, that's one. That goes into the butter beater, right? We can do that here, no problem. Just go ahead and drag there, all right. Does it matter where we place an herbalist? I don't know. I mean, we kind of already have plenty of monks, right? So I feel like this is fine to just go place here. But then I need to have more distribution so I can get some more salt transported elsewhere, and I'm probably going to need to actually split this, unless I'm willing to get myself another trade post, which needs a ton of yaks. But I could just import the salt directly right here. Yeah, all right. This game may have an unhealthy obsession with getting a lot of yaks. I cannot confirm nor deny this possibility. Anyway, now I just need the butter tea brewer, of which I need research level 5. Wait, do I not have research level 5? Oh gosh, hang on. Right, I'm providing 3 there. Oh no. No, I need to get another academy or something. Fine, we'll just do what we always do. We set up a whole new residential area over here. And thankfully, I don't see a lot of snow issues. There we go, place down this little thing, get a few more upgrades, and we now have enough monks, which means I'm now building up to level 5. Okay, can we get the tea now? Place this up over here. Drag here, drag here. Okay, we just need salt. Please import 1 salt, send here. Okay, now we're able to start producing that butter tea. I seem to be a little bit low on some actual butter, though. What, am I out of yaks? No, we're just limited by the butter beater not providing enough. Oh, for frick's sake. Which means we need a carrier post so that I can then cancel this and send this here and then distribute the milk like so, and then that gets sent here, okay? Now we're at full capacity. Right, and with that, now I need to send it back to the monks, which means 1 more cart post. Where the heck can I fit it? Can I fit one up over here? Is there 120? Nope, there's not 120 monks there. No, there's only 96 over here. Oh gosh, do I have to build a whole bunch more over here? Maybe. It's fine. I'm just going to turn this into a super residential area for monks. Nothing else. That's 120 right here as it currently stands. Hold on. Let's get back down over here. Grab the cart post. Drag it way up over here. I'd hate to be this delivery guy. What an Uber Eats drive that would be. Boom. Boom. That's 120 monks with butter tea. Y'all better be happy. Oh, listen, we can't work in these conditions. Freaking heck. Better dormitories for the monks? Seriously? Better dormitories for the monks? What? You need level 3? You know what that means? It means we have to build all sorts of these enlightenment needs. I need mandalas. I need gongs. I need yak guardians and incense and so on. Which basically means I need to do a bunch of different things. I need to get like some houses rearranged and enclosed in some like walls. They want to be cloistered off from the world. Yeah, I want to be cloistered off from you, that's for freaking sure. What about gong? Can I just place a gong? There's a gong. Have fun with that. And then the so-called yak guardian. Move that down here, re-enable the building. Money balance turns negative, and it's still not enough to get this all the way upgraded. That's mostly because we're out of artisans and stuff, though. Which, of course, means more population needed, please. And just kind of in general, I seem to be more or less out of population and space. And also, I'm kind of running out of time. We've been playing this one particular map for a while, and I don't know when it is going to end. Might end pretty soon, but it also might be a long ways to go, so I think we're just going to go ahead and have to end things about now. But that's a taste of what Laysara ends up looking like, and it does end up creating some truly beautiful-looking cities. I mean, this is a really pretty game, you gotta admit. And the puzzle aspect of this is not really a bad thing. I just think it's not what everyone was necessarily looking for, and some of the Steam reviews seem to agree with that. But if you're interested in a game where you have to kind of puzzle your way through things, and you've got to, figure out what the optimal use of the land is going to be in order to take care of a much larger population than maybe you were originally anticipating, then this game can have a lot of fun challenges as you go through and rework your production chains, figure out where your bottlenecks are, and then kind of make things a lot better. I do wish that the food markets had a bit more range to them. Maybe at some point there's supposed to be a way to upgrade some of these buildings to have more range. That would be kind of cool, honestly. I'm not sure. As I said, this game is in early access, so I do expect there to be some changes, some rebalances, and some new features added in the near future. In the meantime, I do think this game has a lot of potential. It's pretty fun to mess with. Oh, I know what I would do. I just go down over here, place artisans, and I see. I'm already thinking through how I would solve the puzzle. And that's where this game can be pretty fun. So if you guys would like to learn more about the game, there will be a link in the description down below so you can see the Steam store page. Otherwise, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you found this video informative and entertaining. If you did, I would humbly ask that you hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notify bell. And I will see you guys next time.